For the first time in NASCAR Cup Series history, we're racing in the streets of Chicago. Hello everybody and welcome back to NR2003. 30 laps at the Chicago Street Course officially underway as Bowman and V8 Supercar champion Shane Van Gisbergen out front here, and right off the bat he's going to go to the lead now as I'm joined by Fast Click Live. Jay up here in the booth. Jay, 30 laps of the Chicago Street Course, and what a way to kick it off with the Australian V8 Supercar driver to the lead.
Starting on the front row, get a great launch out of the exit of turn one, and he is gone. He has left Bowman in the dust. This is certainly surprising, Gary. I thought that we would see Van Gisbergen do pretty okay, but to start on the front row, have the lead within the first lap of the race. Very impressive for his first NASCAR running. Hasn't even done anything outside of a little bit of testing in the Cup car, so really impressive from him, but he can drive any damn thing on this planet, and so far showing that really good so far in the first little bit of this race. But a lot of things to watch for, Gary, and the first thing on this first lap to watch for is for all this too wide still going on back here. There's a lot of racing going side by side. In this particular corner we're coming up to, I think it's turn 7 or 8. I believe it's turn 8. In just a moment, if you're too wide through there, it can get really sketchy with that barrier.
We're likely to see a caution on this opening lap because of this barrier coming up. We're going to watch every single car. Truex is already trying to bring out cautions here, hitting concrete barriers now. Here they go. Watch this corner right here. Watch 19, nearly into the barrier. Whoever hits it will bring out a caution. Wow. Are they all going to make it? Oh, Almirola caught the barrier. Oh, the 7 got it. There it is. The 7 in the barrier. That's going to bring out an early caution here. They have to race it back still to the pace car, but that's going to be a blown engine. And no, we're still under green, actually. Surprisingly, no caution as we continue on, so we might be okay here. But we will be using single file restarts because of this issue. We are currently on a beta version of the track. We're not able to get the full release in time to record this episode, so that's still a beta version, which is key to kind of touch on. Now at the top of the board in the regular season championship, 17 caught the wall right there. And Jay, I think we got someone else in the wall. Yeah, the 43. So I think we're realizing really quick that's going to be another treacherous corner right there as that opens the door for the 20 to go for the overtake. Oh,
the 16 of Allmendinger. That's big time contact to the wall right there. That should put some damage on the right side of that, or the left side of that 16 machine, and maybe have to cause him to go to the pit lane. So far, it looks like nobody's had to pit just yet for the contact we've seen. They're 90-degree corners. They're a lot of them are very tight as well. You can only really fit. Oh, that's the 45 of Tyler Reddick. Speaking of issues, stopped on track. That is our first yellow of the day. Not sure what happened with the 45. Might have hit a wall somewhere, blown an engine.
So Tyler Reddick, reason for caution, well, it's pretty straightforward. The engine expires on this number 45. You see the smoke pour out of the back, and unfortunately, not really any, escape routes here. So he is forced to stop on track. He could not make it back around, unlike Corey LaJoie earlier after hitting the barrier. We do have a couple of takers in the pit lane. Daniel Suarez, a bit surprising there, but of course he's focusing on trying to win, not necessarily get stage points. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, and others as well. Actually, the most of the back part of the grid is all going to come in. Back underway from Chicago. Like I said, we're running single file restarts for this race now, as immediately you saw Harvick peek his nose up the inside of Kyle Busch. As we have problems in the background on the restart, it looks like the caution stays out, as I saw a puff of smoke in the back. I'm not sure exactly what has happened, but I see some skid marks, and we still got a big stack up there into turn 1. The pace car in an awkward position as well. Take a look. Watch the 15 of Andy Lally on the restart. Jumps the restart. Gregson goes to cover him off. Lally doesn't lift. And, well, you saw the result, and surprisingly, that's why we're under caution here in Chicago. Alex Bowman into the pits, as well as Chastain and many others, but we're still seeing split strategy, like the leaders of Van Gisbergen stay out. Jay, I'm starting to think right off the bat here, as everyone's still coming around, but this already seems like it could be a race of strategy that really determines the outcome here today. We're going back green, and as we do for stage 2, Kyle Busch taking a very alternative strategy. He pits. And now, as well, we get back going. Chase Elliott is currently in the pit lane, servicing that vehicle. Not quite sure why, but they head down towards turn 1 nonetheless. Jay, and Van Gisbergen nearly caught out by the 20 of Christopher Bell, but he holds him off.
Able to keep the lead so far, 10 laps in. Nobody else has led aside from this 91 car, and right now continuing to do the same thing as well. Bell gets clear for second place. The 14, side by side for third. Chastain there was side by side with Bowman and Suarez trying to work his way back forward after pitting on that first caution. 99 not able to go back as forward as he would want to because he was so far behind, caught out by all the pace car shenanigans and all that kind of stuff. But at least, Gary, we had the entire field caught up and back together again to go racing once again at stage number 2 here in Chicago.
So Chase Elliott's a lap down. That's big right there. It's going to be very hard to get that back. And while his teammate Kyle Larson's not far behind in the regular season championship.
Through here, but it seems like so far there might be some right there. Truex and the 17 who got close. but they all keep it together, and not really. I think there was only that one bit of side-by-side going through there, so most everybody got through there clean. Elliott still on the pit lane, might go 2 laps down here, Gary. Suarez and Hamlin were one of our first 2 drivers that pitted. Suarez right now ends at the top 10. Hamlin, not. I don't even see him on the screen right there. I think he might be
17th.
Pretty far outside the top 10. So, oh wait, yeah, you're right. Thank you, 17th. So Hamlin right now down at 17th place. Not only does he lose a lot of spots from that pit strategy, Gary, but his teammate of Christopher Bell, who is battling, one of the drivers he's battling with for that final playoff spot, is in 2nd right now. So the 11 team sweating a little bit. Things not going their way right now.
Look at this. It's the 2 guys battling for that spot. Teammates side by side right there. We watch everyone go through. It looks like they're all good. But Hamlin and Truex, of course, they might be battling for the final spot in the playoff. They're going at it right here. Truex comes out on top of it, but gets into the wall.
Might have got the wall again.
That's not the first time we've seen that happen. That 19's been using it up. But now as they come through the right-handed to the front straightaway. So Van Gisbergen wins stage 2, 9 points for Bell. Does anybody pit coming to the start of the stage? No, but Jay, we know that there's definitely going to be some drivers here that didn't pit on the last caution to end stage 1. They're going to have to be coming probably within the next, I would say, 2 to 3 laps, and that would put it in an awkward fuel situation. A fuel run could be 10 to 12 laps, so it's going to be really hard, and I think Van Gisbergen is going to be a part of that caution. Yes, I think it's Kyle Busch, the number 8. Thank God Almirola came back another year, as you're going to see him get into the wall, and Kyle Busch just in an awkward spot there, goes around, and the 15 piles in, caution flies. Leaders into the pits. You see, though, some more split strategy here now as Van Gisbergen is going to lead the way into his pit box. I wonder if them being ahead the pace car, I hope that doesn't cause any issues when they're in the pit lane. But we see Byron Bowman stay out now. Jay, I'm surprised to see any drivers stay out here, because if you pit now, it gives you a chance to maybe save some fuel to make it to the end of this race. We do see, however, the vast majority of cars stay out, or come in, sorry.
Yeah, I think if you're Alex Bowman, you're so far back, Gary. You just want to try and win the race any way you can. And if you know you do what everybody else does, you're not going to win that race. And wow, Chastain just destroyed Van Gisbergen on the pit lane right there.
Getting ready to go back green. Harrison Burton's coming into the pits as we go back, so what was the point of staying out? We don't know, but we're back underway here, Jay. Byron Bowman lead the way into turn 1. We saw some speed out of the 48 earlier, of course, and now here he is. He's got the track position again, but of course we have to pay attention to Ross Chastain and his Trackhouse teammate Shane Van Gisbergen, the first cars on fresh tires, that they're already making moves.
Yeah, the first 4 cars right now on track are the ones who stayed out, but it looks like Chastain not going to take too long until we can move like Keselowski right there. There goes Truex on a move on Bowman, and that's allowing Byron to absolutely destroy these guys. He is gone already. Maybe on some fresher tires than these guys, so the 24 car maybe can go a little bit longer than we think, Gary. And if that is indeed the case, Byron could win this race, because we're now into a point where if he goes another lap or 2, he can easily make it to the end of the race. These guys who just pitted may not be able to make it to the end. It's going to be a really interesting wash to see who can make it to the end of this race and who cannot.
What a day for Almirola. Chastain, oh, they all pitted. The 24 and the 48. They're into the pits.
Here, though. I think this is a good call.
You're right. We got problems. We got problems into turn 1. Logano.
It's Joe Log.
And he's not going to make it around the track. He is absolutely not going to make it. Oh, my God. Joey Logano's in front of Kyle Larson. We've got problems. Oh, dear God. Caution is out on the circuit. Yeah, nobody elected to pit under caution, surprisingly, now. So as we get ready to go back green, Jay, the guys that did pit now have a chance to benefit. If everybody else here has to pit before this race is over, they run low on fuel, then Byron, Bowman, all the likes of them, they're going to be looking pretty smart at that point.
It was close for these guys, though, Gary, so I think that caution right there might have been able to save them enough fuel to make it to the end. Obviously, we'll have to wait till we get towards the end of this race, but I think everybody can now make it to the end of this race. So if you're Bowman, Byron, those guys, the strategy just didn't work out for you, but obviously, at that point, you're just trying to do everything you can to win the race, and things do not go their way. But I'm not crossing everything off the list yet. Obviously, we've got a couple more laps to go here and see how things play out. But Ross Chastain, the hottest driver on the planet, Gary, once again, in the lead of this race. Chastain has been on a tear the last month or so. To the 20 of Bell, and Truex is on that awful strategy who has destroyed him. So we were talking in stage 2, Gary, how things were looking pretty bleak for Hamlin. Now they're looking pretty okay for him. He's back at the top 10. Truex and Bell are not gaining points on him anymore like they were. So, a little bit of a wall there for Van Gisbergen trying to get past the 14 of...
Wow.
The 14 almost got in the wall once again. Had to check himself up right there. As you can see, he loses the spot.
Kyle Busch as well going for a move, but there's Byron, and well, Truex is right there with him, so that'd be really interesting.
Well.
Yes, Brad Yeah, the
Looks
48.
like he's way gone. There he is.
He's not terribly far back. A couple cars in between, but obviously not close enough. As well, he'll make a move maybe right here into turn 1. I think he's going for it there into the corner on the 10 Smithfield Ford Mustang of Eric Almirola, who's had a great day here in Chicago, but 48 can't complete the pass right there. And Jay, now we see Byron put a car in between him and Truex. So, I mean, he's racing now as if maybe there's a chance they run out of fuel up front or can't make it to come to the pits. So, of course, he realizes now he could be racing for what would be his second win of the year. Byron is just going to casually get himself into the wall. And hold on, this gets spicy right here. Let's pay attention. Oh, he's close. He's nearly making contact. He's hitting the wall again. This 24 is all over the place.
I thought he blew his engine for a second. I thought I saw smoke, and he was very slow. But around the outside, he just says, heck you to Ty Dillon, while also clapping the wall a couple of seconds ago.
Jesus.
Oh, my goodness. Speaking of clapping the wall, all the Fords. They're all just slapping that thing. The 3 car in the wall once again as well.
3 wide.
3 wide into a corner. That's a 90-degree corner. Last corner. 41 in the wall. Everybody else okay. Goodness, you think there's 2 laps to go in this race, Gary?
There is 3 laps to go, so close enough. The racing's actually fantastic back here. Everybody is going to stay out here as we kick off this final lap here in Chicago. So, Jay, we didn't quite get our wish there, and it looks like now that one car of Ross Chastain is about to do, 4 wins on the season and go back-to-back here as Truex is trying to get as many points as he can get in that close and crucial battle with Denny Hamlin.
Ross Chastain, the hottest driver coming into this race, going to leave this race the hottest driver. He is out of the final corner, going to win the first ever street course race, the first ever race in Chicago. Ross Chastain, his 4th win on the season, double anybody else in the series. Hottest driver on the planet, Gary.
And Briscoe comes on P2, might go from P32 to P31 in the standings. Caution's out. Are you kidding me? Couldn't this have happened earlier? Caution is out here on the final lap. Obviously, it doesn't matter. These guys are racing it to the end of the race. But yeah, something's happened on this final lap in Chicago. We'll have to take a look and see if anything stands out. Nothing's standing out to me at the moment. Caution was for Eric Jones on the final lap. He runs out of fuel. So there you have it, Chastain, who is now out of fuel about half a lap after the race ends, hangs on here. What could have been as he runs out, but Jay, 4 wins on the season for him now. What a day here in Chicago Street Course, and no new winner, but as well, I believe we have Atlanta coming up next, if I'm not mistaken. Another opportunity for a curveball winner.
You know, he didn't win, but it was fantastic to watch Shane Van Gisbergen make his first Cup Series start